My work was offered as a prayer in this project to the Baptist Church. It's on the south side of Chicago. My work was offered as a prayer in the sense that I knew my customers were believing Christians and shared common values with me. I experienced a mutual bond with them, felt among practicing Christians. So I felt that we had common beliefs, common faith, and I felt the connection. I felt the respect and dignity that they gave to me as I wanted to give to them. And I experienced being closer to God in this project of working for them. They hired me to remodel or build out a bathroom in their lower church like this. And they have a lot of congregants, and they're friendly and welcoming people, especially to me, an outsider. And they wanted to expand one of their restrooms for the men's room to make it more comfortable and larger for the congregation. So in this, I experienced being closer to God and wanted to offer my work in the best possible manner, prayerfully, so God's presence will be in our work. Especially I was in the church. God has sent me to this place, and I need to really do my best. And there was a lot of challenges in this project because just the way the plumbing was set up, we had to break ground, and they still used the facility, the area kind of like this for their congregants and for activities. So we had to section off the area, make it suitable for them and make sure everything was protected. So one of the values I offered to the church was honesty and a fair price that didn't change with the items of the estimate didn't change. My price was fair and honest to them in the middle and at the end of the job. Maybe that's why they hired us. Maybe we were the lowest price. They hired us for that reason. But it didn't affect the quality of our work or delay them or give them too much inconvenience. We maintained the quality of work, and we proceeded and progressed. And I really believe in my work, as in life, the principle of constant improvement, with how we deal with each other, how we deal in our work. And we had that opportunity with them. They're very patient with us, and it was just a great project. It brings good memories to me. It was a few years ago, but it was great. And I had a good team of people. What's great about working with many different tradespeople and skilled workers from all walks of life, they don't know me when they come to me. Most of them want a job, and I don't just hire anybody either. I have to make sure that they're honest. So the crew in my profession and in my job is very important to me. As important to me as having the business, and the opportunity to work with this church also brought us more serious together because one thing, you're working with construction workers, and they have a different mentality of things and language and colorful way of expressing themselves. But as they get to know me, it becomes different. They learn not to curse God. That's one of the commandments: not to use God's name in vain, not to swear. Even with each other. So, and working in the church even made it more serious for them. They respected the environment. They respected the people, and they have a lot of faith. They shared a lot of faith. So I share a lot of faith with my people, and I feel equal with them, and the work is rewarding when we're able to do that. So with this Baptist church, they were very interested in me, not just in us doing the work. They shared personal time, asked questions, and they were interested, and they introduced me to their whole community. And I'd never really been to a Baptist church before, so it was my first opportunity. And it was a great experience to meet the elders in the church. They're a really big part of their community, is the elders. And they come to every event, they support the church, and they're concerned for their community and for the young people and the violence that happens in their neighborhood. And these people are just the opposite. They're very caring. They have works of charity going on. And we got to experience a lot of that together with my workers. And we accomplished our project. They were happy with it. I was happy that I was able to do it. So St. Joseph has a great role, and even in Eastern Europe there's a great devotion to him in the Orthodox Church and the Catholic Church. But St. Joseph is very important, and he's important to me in my work. But we're really here tonight in faith to build a sense of community. We're all together, we're children of God. I've discovered now in my adult life that that is the meaning and the strength and power in my life, is the prayer and the Mass. And I am completely empty and without it. And I also, after high school, went into the seminary in Boston for 3 years, and that's much a part of me, because that's my formation, that's my spirituality, and I learned a lot that way, you know, especially to respect and appreciate the dignity of the person, and also learning works of charity. So I'll offer you some tips that I think would work for you if you're ever in a case that you want to do work at your home, or whatever the case may be, in hiring and interviewing a contractor. And you should, number one, get more than one estimate. You know, usually the saying goes, get 3 or 4 estimates. You know, meet the contractor, ask questions, get an idea of their portfolio and their history and the people they worked for, you know, referrals and things like that. But ask the contractor specifically if he has any examples of honesty. Any examples of honesty. And what do I mean by that? You know, contractors come into someone's home, they work there alone, you know, and not many things happen as you would think. You know, most people are honest, you know, but there's cases like I could think of recently. We're remodeling a basement, and one of my workers, I think he's one of my best friends. He's a Mexican guy, and when I hired him, he was only a sign painter, but he needed a job, and it was many years ago, and he was taking the bus to meet me at a project downtown that we were painting, and I needed an extra painter, so he was coming to meet us, and he's developed over like 7 years in all the trades. He could do everything. He's very skilled at everything. He's my closest worker, and I trust him the most. Everybody who has a project needs a person like that. He's very honest. So back to the basement we were remodeling. We tore it out, gutted it, everything, in the bathroom. And he found this gold ring, you know, kind of like this one, but it's not this one. This is my ring. And he said, "Hey, I found this ring." And I looked at it, and I didn't know if it's real or not. If I found it in my house, I would have thrown it out because it looked so old and it didn't look like a gold ring to me, you know. But anyway, we have a process that if we find things, we have a certain area, because the customer may not be home, we put it like in a corner or in a box, and we don't know what to do with it, and they decide to throw it out or what. But we just don't want it to get in our way, basically, so we put it away. And he found this ring, so I told the man that we're working for, you know, we got this ring, and it's over here on the side. And the next day, he's like, that's my wedding ring, you know, I lost it, and I thought my wife had pawned it, you know, I didn't know where it was. You know, so when we find things that don't belong to us, we don't know what the history of that is, you know. Maybe a relationship could be broken up with some kind of imagination this person could have about his wife, you know. So we brought it, and hopefully that restored something in their lives, you know. But that's an example of honesty that I'm trying to give you a tip about. You know, maybe you'll meet somebody that you need to that do work. Ask them that question. And they might not have something on top of their head. It might take them time to think about it. But let them get back to you. You know, let them think about it, get back to you with some example of honesty. And number 2 is, what is the contractor's relationship with his workers and his crew? Does he really know these guys? You know, is he respectful to them? Is he nice to them? You know, is he friendly with them? Because it all reflects in the work. You know. And number 3, my tip is, does the contractor have a quality control and safety process in place, and what is it? You know, for example, does he have a daily checklist? You know, is everything swept up at the end of the project? Is everything cleaned? What's the progress report on things? Any changes? You know, that should be a daily process. You know, and they should have a process. The a good contractor will have a process in place for that. And safety is the #1 thing on any project, and keeping things broom swept every day. Because if you respect your work area, it's going to reflect in your work. Even if it takes longer, you may see a construction site and people are spending time cleaning, but it's just as important as the materials that you put into your project. And how does the crew protect furniture and flooring and other items in the work area? You know, hopefully they have some process for that. You know, cover it with plastic, or you know, make sure dust doesn't go in other parts of the home. The heating system is covered off or shut off. You know, because all that stuff could get into the heating system. You know, and blow out a fan motor or something. You know, you don't want drywall dust everywhere. So hopefully, and I believe most contractors are good and they do this kind of stuff, but I know this doesn't always happen. Especially if you're going with the cheapest estimate, usually it's going to reflect in the work and the quality. So that's another thing. You get several estimates, don't always choose the cheapest one. You know, you want to have a quality crew in your home. And communication is my last tip with the contractor. Is he accessible? Is he offering his cell phone number to you so you don't have to go through several layers of call screening? Well, thank you, and this is my speech tonight.